Auf Wiedersehen Pet was more than just a popular television series in the UK, it was a cultural landmark that vividly captured the struggles of the turbulent 1980s. With its perfect blend of humor and heartfelt emotion, the show etched itself into the hearts of viewers through its unforgettable and deeply human characters. Yet behind the bright lights of the screen, the talented actors who brought these characters to life faced tragic destinies of their own. From relentless, incurable illnesses to sudden, cruel accidents, many of them departed this world under heartbreaking circumstances, leaving behind an irreplaceable void in the hearts of fans. In this journey, we will delve deeper into the sorrowful stories that unfolded behind the scenes, uncovering the silent battles, the fleeting moments of triumph, and the cruel twists of fate that befell those who gave so much to this iconic show. As we remember their struggles and honor their contributions, we ensure that their legacy endures, not just as performers, but as irreplaceable figures who left their mark on television history and in the hearts of generations to come. Ricardo Montes was born in 1923, a man whose career in film and television was shaped by his talent for playing lively, often comedic characters. In Auf Wiedersehen Pet, he appeared in multiple episodes spanning nearly 2 decades, portraying the charismatic yet sometimes enigmatic Fuentes. His presence on screen was always marked by an effortless charm, a trait that made him a favorite among audiences. Beyond this role, he was best known for playing Juan Cervantes, the lovable Spanish teacher in the long-running sitcom Mind Your Language. Despite the humor he brought to his roles, Montes's personal life was filled with heartbreak. A quiet and private man, he endured the loss of his wife after many years of marriage, a sorrow from which he never fully recovered. His later years were spent away from the limelight, battling health issues that slowly diminished his once vibrant energy. In 2010, at the age of 87, he passed away peacefully, but his death marked the end of an era for fans who remembered him as a beloved figure of British television. His absence was deeply felt, his laughter forever preserved in the roles he left behind. Pat Roach, born in 1937, was a giant both in stature and in spirit. As Brian Bomber Busbridge in Auf Wiedersehen Pet, he was the gentle giant of the group, a man whose sheer physical presence was matched only by his warmth and loyalty. Before acting, Roach was a renowned professional wrestler, his hulking frame making him a formidable force in the ring. His acting career, however, extended far beyond the small screen. He was a staple in blockbuster films, including the Indiana Jones series, where he played multiple imposing villains. Despite his tough exterior, Roach's personal life was not without struggle. Though married to his wife Doreen for many years, the demands of his career often kept him away from home, creating emotional distance that strained their relationship. He was devoted to his family, yet his relentless work ethic left little time for the quiet, simple life he longed for. In his final years, Roach faced his greatest battle yet, cancer. Even as his health deteriorated, he remained determined, appearing in Auf Wiedersehen Pet for as long as he could. In 2004, at the age of 66, he succumbed to the disease, leaving behind a legacy of strength, resilience, and unforgettable performances. Though his towering frame is gone, the impact he made on both the wrestling and acting worlds remains as unshakable as ever. Kenny Ireland was born in 1945, a man whose love for theater and television shaped a career spanning decades. Though his appearance in Auf Wiedersehen Pet was brief, playing Sid Payne in a single 1986 episode, his impact on British television was more significant elsewhere. He became best known for his role as Donald Stewart, the fun-loving, uninhibited pensioner in the comedy series Benidorm. Beyond acting, Ireland was a respected theatre director, leading the Royal Lyceum Theatre in Edinburgh for over a decade. Despite his professional success, his personal life was marked by quiet struggles. His marriage was stable, but the demands of his career often left him torn between his work and family life, leading to periods of emotional distance. In his final years, Ireland faced an insurmountable challenge, cancer. The disease progressed aggressively, and in 2014, at the age of 68, he passed away. His death was met with an outpouring of tributes, as colleagues and fans alike mourned the loss of a man whose warmth and talent had brought so much joy to audiences. Gary Holton was born in 1952, a man whose wild energy both defined his on-screen persona and foreshadowed the tumultuous path his life would take. As Wayne Norris in Auf Wiedersehen Pet, he played the cheeky, fast-talking Cockney chancer, always ready with a quip and a scheme. His role as Wayne made him a household name, but fame did little to tame his rebellious spirit. A rocker at heart, Holton had already made waves as the lead singer of the heavy rock band Heavy Metal Kids before transitioning to acting. His personal life, however, was a storm he could never quite navigate. His relationships were marked by turbulence, including his troubled romance with model Susan Harrison. The highs of his career were often overshadowed by his battles with substance abuse, a fight he ultimately lost. In 1985, at just 33 years old, he was found dead in his London home, the victim of a heroin overdose. His sudden death left a void in Auf Wiedersehen Pet, forcing the show's creators to address his absence in later seasons with an off-screen demise for Wayne Norris. Though gone, his legacy as the show's most charismatic rogue remains indelible. Gordon Tootoosis, born in 1941, carried the weight of history in his every performance. As Joe Saugus in the 2002 season of Auf Wiedersehen Pet, he brought a quiet dignity to the role, his presence both commanding and gentle. A proud Cree actor and activist, Tootoosis spent his career championing Indigenous representation in film and television, appearing in critically acclaimed productions such as Legends of the Fall and Black Robe. Off-screen, he was a devoted family man, married to his beloved wife Irene Sessikwasis for over 4 decades, with whom he raised several children. Yet his journey was not without sorrow. He had experienced deep personal loss, including the tragic death of his daughter. His commitment to his people extended beyond acting, as he worked tirelessly for Indigenous youth and cultural preservation. In 2011, at the age of 69, Tootoosis passed away from pneumonia complications, leaving behind not just a body of work, but a legacy of resilience and advocacy. His presence on screen was a gift, his absence a profound loss. Saginaw Grant, born in 1936, carried with him the weight of history. A proud Native American actor and hereditary chief of the Sac and Fox Nation, he brought authenticity and quiet strength to every role he played. In Auf Wiedersehen Pet, he portrayed the medicine man in the show's 2002 season, a role that, though small, reflected the wisdom and dignity he embodied in real life. Grant's career extended far beyond British television. He appeared in Hollywood films such as The Lone Ranger and Breaking Bad, where his presence, though often understated, left a lasting impact. Off-screen, his life was a mixture of triumph and sorrow. While deeply respected in his community, he carried the pain of a past marred by discrimination and personal losses. His relationships were often troubled, as he struggled to balance his role as a cultural ambassador with the desire for personal connection. In his later years, he became a beloved elder figure, traveling and speaking about Native American traditions and spirituality. In 2021, at the age of 85, Grant passed away peacefully in his sleep. Though his departure marked the end of a life rich in experience and wisdom, his legacy as both an actor and a guardian of his heritage remains unshaken. Michael Sheard was born in 1938, a man whose face became synonymous with authority figures, often strict, sometimes sinister, yet always compelling. In Auf Wiedersehen Pet, he played Herr Grunwald, appearing in 5 episodes between 1983 and 1984. Though a minor role, it was one of many that cemented his reputation as a reliable character actor. Sheard was best known for portraying the ruthless Admiral Ozzel in The Empire Strikes Back and the infamous Adolf Hitler multiple times, including in Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. Despite his on-screen gravitas, his personal life was far from glamorous. He married Rosalind Moyer, with whom he had 3 children, yet the demands of his career often kept him away from home, leading to periods of strain and regret. Though respected in the industry, he struggled with the knowledge that he was often typecast, limiting his opportunities. In his later years, ill health took its toll. Diagnosed with cancer, he fought bravely, but in 2005, at the age of 67, he passed away at home on the Isle of Wight. His death marked the end of a career that had spanned decades, leaving behind a legacy of unforgettable performances in some of the most iconic films and television series of the 20th century. James Booth, born in 1927, was a man whose charm and roguish wit made him a standout performer in British cinema and television. As Kenny Ames in Auf Wiedersehen Pet, he played the charismatic yet slightly shady ex-nightclub owner, a role that perfectly suited his natural screen presence. Booth first rose to prominence in Zulu, 1964, where he played the cynical Private Henry Hook, a performance that remains one of his most celebrated. Yet, for all his success, his personal life was far less stable. Though married to Paula Delaney for many years, their relationship was often turbulent, punctuated by periods of separation and rumored infidelities. Booth struggled with the pressures of an industry that could be as cruel as it was rewarding, and as roles became scarcer, he turned to screenwriting in an attempt to keep his creative spirit alive. His final years were marked by declining health, and in 2005, he passed away at the age of 77 after a long illness. His death closed the curtain on a career that had burned brightly but had never quite reached the heights it deserved. Even so, his performances continue to captivate audiences, a testament to a talent that refused to be forgotten. Misty Upham was born in 1982, a gifted actress whose performances carried a raw, undeniable authenticity. In Auf Wiedersehen Pet, she appeared in 2 episodes in 2002 as Dawn, a small role in a career that, despite its brevity, left a significant mark. She was best known for her roles in Frozen River and August, Osage County, where she held her own alongside Hollywood greats. Yet, behind the camera, her life was a battle against demons both external and internal. She struggled with depression, financial hardships, and the challenges of being a Native American actress in an industry that often marginalized indigenous voices. Her personal relationships were fraught with instability, and her family life, though filled with love, was also a source of tension. In October 2014, after going missing for several days, her body was discovered at the bottom of a ravine in Washington state. The circumstances surrounding her death remain unclear. Her family insisted she had been fleeing from police harassment, while authorities ruled out foul play. She was just 32 years old, her immense talent lost far too soon. Even in death, she became a symbol of the struggles faced by indigenous performers, a voice silenced but never forgotten. Georan Anderson was born in 1941, a woman whose career was steady but largely lived in the shadows of the entertainment industry. In Auf Wiedersehen Pet, she played Pauline Oxlade in 2 episodes in 1986, a minor yet memorable role. Though she never reached mainstream fame, Anderson was a familiar face in British television, making appearances in various dramas and soap operas over the years. Her life, however, was one of quiet sacrifices and personal heartbreak. She was devoted to her craft, but the industry often proved unforgiving, leaving her with long periods of professional uncertainty. Her personal life was equally turbulent. Failed relationships, financial struggles, and a sense of unfulfilled potential haunted her later years. In 2013, at the age of 72, she passed away following a battle with cancer. The news of her death barely made headlines, a stark reminder of how fleeting fame can be. Yet, for those who remembered her, she remained a dedicated performer, one whose contributions to British television, though often overlooked, were an integral part of its rich history. Timothy Spall was born in 1957, a man whose every performance carries an unmistakable depth, a sense of quiet tragedy lurking beneath even his most comedic roles. As Barry Taylor in Auf Wiedersehen Pet, he was the socially awkward, mild-mannered electrician from the Midlands, whose earnest nature often made him the butt of jokes. But beyond the small screen, Spall's life took dramatic turns worthy of any script. A respected character actor, he became a familiar face in films such as Secrets and Lies, The King's Speech, and the Harry Potter series, where he played the treacherous Peter Pettigrew. However, his greatest battle wasn't on set, it was against leukemia. In 1996, he was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia and given only days to live. Yet, against the odds, he survived, enduring grueling treatments that changed his outlook on life. His personal life, unlike the troubled relationships of many in his profession, has been remarkably steady. He has been married to his wife, Shane, since the 1980s, a rarity in show business. Yet, even with a loving family, the scars of his near-death experience remain. Now in his 60s, Spall continues to work, though his gaunt appearance and shifting health remind fans that life, like his performances, is fragile and fleeting. Tim Healey was born in 1952, a man whose gruff yet affable demeanor made him a natural fit for the role of Dennis Patterson, the weary yet dependable leader of the Auf Wiedersehen Pet crew. Dennis was the glue holding the group together, a reluctant father figure navigating the chaos of their lives. In many ways, Healey mirrored his character, steady, reliable, and quietly enduring. His acting career flourished beyond Auf Wiedersehen Pet, with roles in Benidorm and countless British television dramas. But his personal life has been anything but smooth sailing. His marriage to actress Denise Welch was a high-profile one, filled with both passion and turbulence. Their relationship, which lasted over 2 decades, was rocked by infidelities, substance abuse, and Welch's struggles with mental health, eventually leading to a painful divorce. The split took its toll on Healey, who retreated into his work, finding solace in his craft. In 2016, he suffered a major health scare, falling gravely ill while filming Benidorm, which left him hospitalized and fighting for his life. He pulled through, but the experience changed him, making him more selective about his roles. Now in his 70s, Healey remains active in the industry, but his eyes hold the weight of a man who has weathered more storms than most. Kevin Whately, born in 1951, has spent his career portraying the kind of everyman audiences instantly trust. As Neville Hope in Auf Wiedersehen Pet, he played the loyal but often naive bricklayer, a man devoted to his wife yet frequently out of his depth among his rougher colleagues. Whately, too, built a career on playing likable, down-to-earth characters, most notably as Lewis in Inspector Morse and its spin-off Lewis. Unlike many of his Auf Wiedersehen Pet co-stars, his personal life has been relatively free of scandal. He has been married to actress Madeleine Newton since the 1980s, a rare and enduring partnership in an industry notorious for its fleeting romances. However, stability does not mean a life free of hardships. He has openly discussed the difficulties of balancing a career with family life, particularly as he cared for his mother, who suffered from Alzheimer's. Now semi-retired, Whately has largely stepped away from acting, choosing instead to focus on family and advocacy work for dementia awareness. While his days as Neville Hope are long behind him, the warmth he brought to the role still lingers in the hearts of fans who saw him as the heart of the Auf Wiedersehen Pet team. Jimmy Nail, born in 1954, has lived a life as fiery and unpredictable as the characters he plays. As Oz Osborne in Auf Wiedersehen Pet, he was the hard-drinking, no-nonsense Geordie, whose sharp tongue and rough demeanor made him both a comedic highlight and a deeply flawed antihero. In many ways, Oz was an extension of Nail himself, a man with a troubled past and a restless soul. Before acting, Nail's life was a chaotic mix of working-class struggles, a brief stint in prison for assault, and an unexpected rise to fame that would change everything. His success on Auf Wiedersehen Pet led to a music career, with his 1992 single Ain't No Doubt topping the UK charts. But fame did little to soothe his demons. His relationships have been tempestuous, marred by insecurities and personal battles. Though long-term partner Miriam has been by his side for decades, Nail has admitted to struggles with commitment and self-doubt. His later career saw ups and downs, brief returns to acting, failed projects, and a retreat from the limelight. While he occasionally resurfaces for select roles, his days as a leading man seem long behind him. Now largely out of the public eye, Nail remains a figure of intrigue, a man who reached great heights but, like Oz, always seemed destined to be at odds with the world around him. The series Auf Wiedersehen Pet not only left an unforgettable mark on fans but also became a poignant reminder of the tragic passing of many talented actors who dedicated their lives to bringing unforgettable moments to the screen. What are your thoughts on the lives and deaths of these actors, and who do you remember the most? Subscribe to the channel to stay updated with our upcoming videos.